In this video, I'm going to show you a better way to use the Martingale roulette system so you can win more and decrease your chances of losing. Now, the Martingale system is the most popular roulette system in the world, and it's not hard to see why. In theory, if followed infinitely, you will eventually not only recoup your losses, but make a profit as well. But how does the Martingale system fail? What is it that stops the Martingale system from being a guaranteed banker and allow us to make money every single time we play? We'll come back to the reason why casinos haven't gone bankrupt to the system later in the video, and you'll see how this new system gives us a much higher probability of winning than the traditional Martingale. Now, it's worth mentioning, just because it's better than the original Martingale system does not mean it's a guaranteed way to make money, even though the probabilities of losing are fantastically low. So when using the regular Martingale system, you bet on an even chance bet. On a roulette table with a single zero, your probability of winning this even chance bet is 18 out of 37 numbers, which is 48.6%. If you're playing on a roulette wheel with double zero, then the probability now drops down to 47.3%. As my community is arguably the smartest casino community on the internet, I'm going to assume we're all playing at a table with single zero, and if you're not, please take the quiz in the link in the description and I will find an online casino for you that offers a single zero roulette table. I found them all over the world, so there's no excuse to be playing on a double zero wheel. With a 48.6% probability of winning our even chance bet, that means we have a 51.4% probability of losing. Now, I want to find a bet that has over a 50% probability of winning. That way, each spin I know I'm mathematically favoured to win and won't have to increase my next bet. Unfortunately, at the roulette table there is no such single bet that covers 50% or more of the numbers. But what we can do is bet on 2 of the 3 dozens. By doing this, we are covering 24 out of 37 numbers, and now we have a 64.8% probability of winning. Okay, perfect. So now every single spin, I can be at ease knowing that the probabilities are in my favour and I'm going to win more than I lose. Meaning that I would have to get very unlucky to find myself on a long losing streak. Well, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll know that we don't rely on luck here at Casino Matchmaker. We crunch the numbers so that we can make informed betting decisions. Now, before we calculate the potential losing streaks, there's one big problem to this current setup that many veteran players watching will have spotted. With the traditional Martingale system, after a loss, you simply double your previous bet. Well, what would happen if we did that whilst covering 2 of the 3 dozens? Let's keep the numbers super simple. We bet $1 on the first dozen and $1 on the second dozen. Some quick maths tells us that's a $2 total bet. With a loss, should we follow the traditional Martingale system, we would next bet $2 on the first dozen and $2 on the second dozen, giving us a total bet of $4. But what happens if we actually win this bet? Winning one of our dozen bets pays 2 to 1, which means we return $6. That's including our stake back. Returning $6 after betting $4 means that we have won $2 profit on that spin. But when we consider we just lost $2 the spin before, then all we have managed to do is break even. That's not the point of the Martingale system. The point is to continue with the system until you make a profit. Well then, is this system useless and should we just put it in the bin? Don't worry, I haven't wasted your time, and here's the solution. Because doubling our bets won't work, we need to triple them instead. The advantage of increasing our probability of winning each spin has come with a trade-off that when we do lose, we need to increase our bet faster than the traditional Martingale system. But stay with me and I'll explain why it's a good trade for us and why this triple Martingale system is better than the traditional one. Let's quickly replay our 2 dozens now that we've tripled the bet, just to make sure that we're going to make a profit when we eventually hit a winner. After losing our $2 bet, we increase both our dozen bets to $3 each, which is a total bet of $6. A winning dozen returns $9, which is a $3 profit on that spin, and then when we consider our earlier losing bet of $2, we are $1 in profit for the entire progression. Right then, so why is this a better way of using the Martingale than the standard double your bets when losing on an even chance bet? Remember at the start I asked you, what is it that stops the Martingale system being a nailed-on winner every time? Well, there's 2 reasons to be completely honest. Number 1 is that players could run out of money and are not able to double their bet again, and I can't really help with that. But the most common reason why the Martingale system doesn't work is because players reach the table maximum bet and therefore can't bet enough to recoup their losses and make a profit. This is why it's extremely important to pay close attention to the roulette table's minimum and maximum bets before you sit down and play. Your average casino will have table limit ratios of between 50 to 1 and 100 to 1. Meaning if the minimum bet is $1, then the maximum bet is likely to be $50 or perhaps $100. Some casinos have outrageously bad limits of just 10 to 1, and if you're playing at a table like that, then I'm afraid any betting system you implement is going to get you into trouble. So let's give ourselves credit and assume we're playing at a good casino with 100 to 1 table limit ratios. Why would this triple Martingale system give us a better chance of winning compared to the original? With the original version, if we were to start with a $1 bet, we will hit the table limit after 7 losses. $1, $2, $4, $8, $16, $32, $64. And we can't double to $128 because the table maximum bet is $100. Well then what's the probability of us hitting these 7 losses in a row when betting on the even chance bets? To calculate this, we multiply our probability of losing to the power of 7. So it would be 51.4%, or that's 0.514, to the power of 7, which equals 0.009, or in other words, 0.9%. Let's keep this in mind as we compare this to our newly improved Martingale system. First up, if we're tripling our bet, how many losses can we have before we hit our maximum table limit bets? Starting with a $1 bet, here's what that would look like. $1, then $3, then $9, $27 and $81. Well, that's only 5 losses before we hit the table maximum. How is that better than the 7 chances we had with the traditional Martingale system? That's because we are far less likely to lose our 2 dozen bets 5 times in a row than we are to lose our even chance bet 7 times in a row. When we cover 2 of the 3 dozens, we have 13 out of 37 numbers that cause us to lose. As a percentage, that's 35.1%. For this probability to happen 5 times in a row, we multiply 35.1% to the power of 5, which equals 0.53%. With a 0.53% probability, this means it will only happen 1 in every 188 betting cycles. Now, when we compare this to the original system of 0.9% probability, which means it will happen 1 in every 111 betting cycles, we can see that we've increased our probabilities of winning dramatically. Now the good news, there are some casinos that offer even bigger ratios than 1 to 100. I found online casinos that have ratios of more than 1 to 1000 minimum to maximum bet ratios. This means you could lose up to 7 spins on tripling your money before you hit the maximum bet. And the probability of that happening is a remarkably small 0.06%, meaning it would happen once in every 1,666 betting cycles. If you're looking for an online casino with amazing betting ratios as well as fantastic sign-up bonuses, then I'll leave a link in the description to the casino with the best ratios that I've found. So I asked a question to the community: why would you play the traditional Martingale system when you can do this instead? Not only do you win more often, but you also reduce the probability of reaching the table limits by playing this way. Let me know what you think in the comments, and watch this video next for more interesting techniques to win at the roulette table.